Hey guys, as you see here, I have a wall with a couple of lamps on them, and over here I have a wall with a couple of buttons on them. Now these buttons power those lamps, so if I were to hit that button there, it'll activate that lamp. If I were to hit that button there, it'll activate that lamp, and if I were to hit that again, it'll turn back off. Now I know a couple of you are thinking, Zombachu, why are you wasting your time with something so simple? It's just a bunch of T flip-flops. And you would be right to think that there are T flip-flops involved, and you would be right to think that this video is a big waste of time, but this thing is definitely not simple, and here's why. If you take a look at my inputs, you would see that all of them feed into a single line. That line comes around here and goes into this decoder. But if we look back at my inputs, you will see that they are varying lengths of pulses. So this is a 1-tick pulse, 2-tick pulse, 3-tick pulse, and a 4-tick pulse. And this decoder's job is to figure out what's what. So for example, if it's a 1-tick pulse, it'll output from the first output. If it's a 2-tick pulse, it'll output from the second one, and so on. And this thing can be infinitely expanded if you do some repeater trickery later on. But don't worry, I'll show you guys how to do that at the end of the video. But for now, I think that's enough showcasing, and let's get on with the tutorial. So the version I'm going to show you how to make is going to be that one over there, where it accepts 1, 2, 3, and 4-tick pulses. However, at the end of the video, I will show you how to make it accept 0-tick pulses, how to make it start at a different tick, and of course, how to expand it infinitely. Now, our piston layout goes like this. It's essentially 5 normal pistons facing upwards, and they're every other block, and those will be pushing up glass sandwiches. And these just determine what tick is what. Now to push these back down, we need normal pistons on the top like that, and there we go. Then to power these on the bottom, we need repeaters going into all of them, and on the top we need dust going into all of them as well. So dust, 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 and to connect them we need to have a slab tower. Make sure that repeater is on 2 ticks, but we need to have a slab tower going all the way up, and this will be our input. So just like that. And when I say these determine what tick is what, this is what I mean. So if we were to input a 1-tick pulse, all of them would activate. If we were to input a 2-tick pulse, everything starting from the second one would activate. 3-tick pulse, everything from the third and on would activate. 4th, of course, you get the idea. But you may have noticed something. If I input any one of these, then all of them would activate after that one, and that's not what we want, because that'll mean all of the inputs all of the outputs rather would activate if we were to input a 1-tick pulse. So what we need after this is we need logic to determine which to actually output from. Otherwise, if we have multiple outputs, then that's not really useful for anybody. But the second thing you may have noticed is that although this is meant for 4-tick pulses and lower, you will see that we have 5 bits. And why is that, Zombachu? But this bit over here is what it does is it essentially turns this output into a 1-tick pulse. Otherwise, these would be 1-tick pulses, which is great. But if we didn't have this 5th bit, then this one over here would be a 4-tick pulse or something. So basically that 5th bit is an anti-hipster bit. So over here, what we need to do is have dust on all of these blocks, and then a lever to power them constantly. And then on the other side, we need to have repeaters on 2. So just like that. And these just go into blocks like that, and blocks on the bottom. Now after you do that, you need dust on precisely these. So dust, 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 dust. Nope, dust, dust, dust. And then break those, break those, break those. And then we need torches powering the dust on top. And what these torches do is, first of all, they make them output a 1-tick pulse, which is generally more useful than any other pulse, and they also make it so we don't get any unwanted pulses, because if you expand it long enough without these torches, you'll start to get some unwanted pulses at the beginning, which isn't very nice at all. But after you do that, you need torches on the sides of these blocks that the repeaters are on, and those go into torches on top, which go into dust like this. And then this last bit over here is a bit special. You just need a block, no dust needed. Now after you do that, you need torches facing to the right, and then torches facing to the left. And what these torches do are these torches, this one that I'm looking at right now, this makes it so that it'll only, this is the actual logic that makes it only one output. Otherwise, Without these, all of the outputs would turn on after the first one, which is not good. And then these torches on facing backwards are the ones that reset the system, so we don't have to do it manually. And then I forgot a torch over there as well to reset that. And that's essentially it. If we were to have our outputs, we need comparators because of stupid half-tick things. So comparators for our output, and those will go into torches, and these will provide a 1-tick signal, which is pretty cool. So let me just get myself some sticky pistons so we could visualize this better. Sticky pistons just like that, blocks on top of those. So let me try out a 1-tick pulse. Does that work? Yes, it does. Let me try out a 3-tick pulse. Does that work? Yes, that does as well. Now earlier I mentioned 0 ticks. If you have a 0 tick, then you need to change a couple of things. First of all, let me make a 0 tick creator pulsar thingy. So just like this, and a block of redstone like this. And I usually don't play around with 0 ticks too much. However, I do know that this machine can accept them if you make a 0 tick pulsar and change this repeater to 1. So now that first bit will activate for that, and then if we were to have a 1-tick pulse, that'll activate the second bit, and yeah, we can just keep increasing it, and it'll keep going on and on and on. And this repeater actually is the one that determines what is the starting tick bit thing. So it's essentially this repeater's delay minus 1 equals the starting bit. Now if the repeater's on 1, of course it's 1 minus 1 is 0, so that's all good and dandy. But let's say we wanted to start on, I don't know, 2 ticks for some reason. You change that to 3, because 3 minus 1 is 2, and then let me just do that, and as you see there, the first bit will activate, and then for 3 ticks the second bit will activate, and then 4 ticks the third bit will activate. So yeah, that's pretty nifty if you don't want to have extra bits in the front if you know you're going to be starting at a certain length pulse. But what else was I going to show you? Oh yeah, how to expand it infinitely. Now to do that, what you need to do is after 15 dust or however long you want, you need to of course extend the signal. So let me do that over here. You need to have a repeater there, and then to compensate for the extra delay, you need to change this repeater on the bottom to 2, and then to compensate for that delay, you need to come over here to the bit to the right of it, come over here, and then change this repeater to 3 ticks of delay, and we should be good. So let me try out a 3-tick pulse. That works perfectly fine, and the 4-tick pulse, that works perfectly fine as well. So yeah, that's it for this video. This thing is mainly useful for transporting multiple data over a single line, I guess, but maybe you could find some other uses for it. If you can think of another use, I would be extremely interested to hear it in the comments, so don't forget to do that. But until next video, I guess, goodbye.